My name is Helena. I was 32 years old. I lived in a small village with dirt roads. Everyone knew everyone there. Every morning I woke up before the sun came up. I walked to the village bakery and started my work. The streets were still quiet. I worked very hard. I mixed dough, I cleaned trays. I watched the oven all day. My arms hurt, my feet hurt, but I kept working. Some days my body felt tired before the day even started. My hands moved by habit. I did the same work again and again. I did not hate my job, but I felt invisible inside it. My effort left no mark on my life. At the end of every month, I had no money left. It did not matter how much I sold. Something was always missing. I never understood why. I did not drink. I did not buy expensive things. I did not waste food. Still, my money disappeared. I could not save even a little. I had a simple dream. I wanted to buy a used car. Not a new one, just a small car. Then I would not have to walk long distances every day. I would not have to depend on others. But that dream always felt too far away. When I went home in the evening, I walked on the same dirt road. My clothes smelled like bread. My legs felt heavy. When it rained, the road turned to mud. When it was hot, dust stuck to my skin. I saw other people in the village. They had a motorbike, they had a better cart, some even had an old car. They were not rich, but they found a way. I did not feel jealous. I felt confused. I asked myself, what am I doing wrong? My house was small. One bedroom, a tiny kitchen, and a yard with an old lemon tree. When I got my salary, I already knew where the money would go. Rent, food, gas, old payments. When I finished counting, nothing was left. Many nights I baked bread in the quiet early hours. I thought about my life. Every time I tried to save, something broke. My shoes tore. The stove stopped working. The shop bill grew. It felt like life was always one step ahead of me. I used to think money problems were for careless people, but I was careful and still nothing changed. That thought scared me more than being poor. It made me feel trapped. One day I was delivering bread to a woman in the village. I heard her talking to a neighbor. She said she saved 1% of everything she earned. She said it helped her see where her money went. I did not understand at first. 1% sounded too small. How could such a tiny amount change anything? A few days later, I met her again on the road. She told me to try it for 1 month. She said, don't wait for money to be left. Just save 1% every day. Then watch your life. The next morning, before I turned on the oven, I made a quiet decision. I took one small coin. I put it into a small jar behind my stove. I felt a little silly. It was like I was playing a game. That night, I almost took the coin back. I thought, what is the point? But I left it there. For the first time, I chose not to give up before seeing the result. Every day, I added one small coin. The jar filled very slowly, but something else started to change. Each time I saved the coin, I thought about how I spent the rest of my money. For the first time, I really looked at my habits. I noticed small things. I bought snacks I did not need. I took extra bread home and let it go bad. I bought small items without thinking at work. At work, I also noticed waste. Flour on the floor, burnt bread, dough thrown away. I realized that waste cost money. Part of that loss came from me. I started to work more carefully, not for my boss, but for myself. I also started writing in an old notebook. It was not neat. I made mistakes. I crossed lines and started again. Writing things down felt uncomfortable. I saw mistakes I did not want to admit, but each page made me feel lighter. I was no longer afraid of the truth. Slowly, the numbers began to make sense. I felt less fear and more control. My boss noticed the change. One evening, he told me I was more focused and careful. A few weeks later, he gave me a small raise. It was not much, but it felt big to me. This time I did not rush to spend it. I kept saving 1%. At the village shop, I bought less on credit. One day, I saw my name almost gone from the debt book. I felt proud in a quiet way. But later, I asked my boss for a delivery job. At first, I used a handcart. I told him I was saving for a car. He gave me the chance. Months passed. The jar became heavy. One day, I opened it and counted everything. My hands shook. It was enough for a down payment on a used car. I had been watching that car for weeks. I realized then that I was no longer waiting for luck. I was building something with patience. That feeling was new. It gave me strength. I went to the owner. I placed the money on the table. He asked how long I saved. I said, every day a little. That evening, I drove home slowly. The car was old, but it was mine. When I parked in front of my house, I understood something important. The biggest change was not the car. The change was me. Today, my life is not perfect. I still work hard. I still count my money. But now I feel in control. Saving 1% did not change my bank balance first. It changed my mind. It taught me that discipline grows from small choices, not big promises. If you feel stuck, do not wait for a miracle. Start with one small step. Look closely at your daily life. The change you need may already be in your hands.